going live on Instagram as well, and it's going to be a wonderful evening. I haven't been online for a bit, so I kind of missed it, and looking forward to speaking to you all guys and finding out how your Christmas, how your New Year was, and really like raring to go back into swing of things. And tonight it's going to be an amazing session. I'm going to give you some healing practices to do. I mean, this whole live is healing, and especially if you're participating, because to be in my field you need to participate, you need to be interacting, and that's how it works. So if you're just sitting there and just listening quietly, not engaging, then this isn't really gonna give you any benefit. So what's the plan for tonight? I'm gonna talk about rebirthing. I'm going to explain how it all works, and how it can benefit you, why we do it, and what it entails, especially for people who maybe never met me. And we're going to share some real life examples. I can share some examples. Maybe we'll get some people who have done this practice before. They can talk, and of course I will give you a glimpse of the actual transformation that happens from sessions like that. So how does that sound? How does that sound? Let me know in your comments. If that sounds good, just give me a plus or yes, and then we can move on. So waiting for you guys to reply. Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. Right. And yeah, so how was your Christmas? How was your New Year? Did it feel a bit of a slump, or did it feel exciting? You had presents, you've seen family members, and you spent some time with the loved ones, or was it an agony and really heavy, or was it somewhere in between? So let's have a share, because this is a moment where we can speak to each other. Yeah, I can tell you what happened to me. So this year we decided to stay at home, see lots of family, and had this really long build up for Christmas, a whole month. There's pantos, there's celebrations, there's meetups with friends I've not seen for a long time, and it was just so intense. And when the Christmas came, and when the Christmas came, it was just like everything was very, very quiet. Like we slept in, and our days shifted. We would go to bed really late, get up late. Like we didn't know if we had 3 meals or 2 meals a day. It's like this. So for me, it was good in one sense, because I had a lot of rest, but I've watched so much TV, and I don't know why my eyes are not squared yet. But then I really missed being with people just outside of my family circle, outside of being with children. I just really missed interacting with people, with my friends, with my students, with my colleagues, with people who follow me, subscribers. It's just, it's what gives me that sense of fulfillment, being with you and sharing with you. So yes, and I can see that, Aga, you said, so quiet and peaceful, no unnecessary interruptions. Very nice. Right, and for Laszlo, Christmas was difficult for me, just a simple one, spent with myself. New Year's Eve was wonderful. I was dancing whole night. Ooh, dancing. I love dancing. I love dancing. And oh, I used to be a party animal, would you believe it? I would go to London to these parties and just dance. I would drive, so I wouldn't be drinking, but I would just dance and dance all night till like 2 a.m., 4 a.m. in the morning. And then I'll just have to drive back from London. I used to live in Hertfordshire at the time, and I'd have to open the windows properly full so I could feel cold, because for me, it would be so, I'd be so tired and I'd be like really trying to fall asleep behind the steering wheel. So it was like very dangerous, like very, very dangerous. So yes, 10 till 4 a.m. you were dancing, Laszlo. Oh my God. Oh, that's a good one. Yes. I mean, Christmas is actually, if you look at the way the nature works, the December, the time of the year when everything is dying off, or the winter solstice when the day becomes shorter and the longest night of the year. I mean, it is actually the call for us to go inward. But with Christmas and like this crazy shopping and doing everything, which is very much the opposite of lying still and dying and like kind of reflecting on what happened in the past 6 months or 9 months. So yeah, it's very much against the grain, against our nature. And and being in reflective space actually gives us a lot of wisdom, so we can really tap into all our nuggets of wisdom that we hold within. But instead of that, we kind of called in to eat more, binge on TV like I have done, and it just distracts us from really what we need to do. So, it's that time of day. So, but for those who joined, we're just talking about just catching up with everyone, how the Christmas went and how their New Year's went. And just as this is the time, to reflect back, okay, so what was my year like? And what do I want to take forward from my year? And what do I want to kind of leave back and leave it in there and never to return and never take it with me? Do you have any ideas you want to share in the comments? Was there something good that you would definitely be taking with you into 2025 and maybe improve and do more of that? So write in the comments, and whilst I'm waiting for you to write, I'm just going to share that what I'm going to be taking into 2025 is definitely doing more lives like this and talking and sharing with people, because in this day and age, when no matter whether we have a big family or our own, we create communities online. And for me, community is big. It is really at the heart of me, because if you can be surrounded by people who understand you, by people who on the same wavelength, by people who share your views, you feel empowered. And everybody's so different, and the being different is now celebrated so much more openly than it used to be. So it's only, it kind of calls for that. It calls for being in community and being in this way. And of course, so, to build a community, you have to put yourself out there. It's like being social. In real life, meeting people, you have to go and actually dress up and step out the house. So this is my way of talking to people and yeah, and kind of sharing together. So let's see. Let's see what I wrote. This is my year to create my content fearlessly and be successful. Oh, that is excellent. You have it, like you've written it so specifically. You know what you want to do, and you know that you want it fearlessly. So you, from what you've written, what I'm getting is that it's like you want to chop off all of these unnecessary ties that are holding you back from being successful. This is just like exactly what we're talking about today. And, you know, I'm going to talk to you about rebirthing sessions. And Aga, have you done it yet? Have you done it yet? I'm not now, so I just want to know. If any of you on Instagram and Telegram, if any of you have done the rebirthing before, can you please let us know and just put it in the comments? Yes, I've done it. Whenever with me, with somebody else, like rebirthing session, just let me know. So what Laszlo wants, more happiness, more connections to the people, to find myself, trust myself better, and out of stress. Yes. Okay, so didn't do the rebirthing yet. Okay, never done rebirthing before. Okay, yeah, that is so beautiful. And that's exactly, we are very social animals, you know, to feel okay, to feel ourselves, we need to actually be surrounded. And so, I mean, in this day and age with this technology, we can be connected to anybody, anywhere. So that is just such a beautiful opportunity. Okay, so let me tell you about rebirthing. And because rebirthing, it is literally rebirthing yourself, rebirthing. So, you know, when your mama gave birth to you, whatever conditions were there, every child that is being born has some kind of trauma. Because imagine, even being in mama's womb and, you know, the time when you grown to the maximum of your size and you no longer feel comfortable in that space, and you pushing yourself out, and or your mama's body pushing yourself out, you experience a lot of stress. So everything is squeezing in, everything becomes tight, you coming through this really narrow channel, coming out, and like bang, from the darkness that you were in, from subtle sounds and from the water environment, you come out into the dry environment. Your lungs have to kick in and start working hard to give you oxygen, give you prana. Yes, I'll talk about cesarean in a minute, yeah. And to all the bright lights, you know, and you're like, okay, oh my God. And then, I don't know about you, but in the country I was born in, Soviet bloc, they used to slap children to make sure they're alive and to make them scream. So they're like, oh, okay, this child screams, so they're fine, they're alive. I mean, this is not done anymore, but imagine you've just come out after all that stress and you're getting a bloody slap. So for those people who are born by cesarean, a very similar trauma happens because you're there, you're in that environment, in the womb, like I said, subtle sounds, quite dark, and you might not even be ready to be born. And all of a sudden, you are pulled out of it again into this environment, which is very alien to you. So actually, it's just different decoration, but the experience is still very traumatic. And so it's like, you know, when these people who stand on the edge of the pool and try to like dive in, and they're like not sure, or go down the slide, and they're like not sure, and then somebody comes from the back and just gives you a push. You're like, what? I wasn't even ready to be born. So, you know, I mean, there's so many things that happen in our lives we're not ready for, or we've been pushed into, or like we weren't even welcomed. I mean, does that resonate with anybody of you, like, who's listening to this, who's watching this? If it does, just give me a plus, or write a comment. Does it resonate? How was it for you? You know, I mean, there's many. The trauma of birth is one of the first biggest traumas that we've received. And it's the one that actually holds us properly back, holds us in fear, and holds us from actually presenting ourselves to the world, you know, because subconsciously we remember how it was done against our will, or with so much stress, or we just never from the way we were born, we were never kind of welcomed in such a way that, you know, it would be comfortable. So just waiting, I think somebody's typing. So yeah, how is it for you? I mean, I know most of us don't remember this, remember how we were born, but it makes a very certain imprint on our subconscious and how we show ourselves in the world, how we show our gifts in the world. I mean, for some people to be out there is massive. Okay, I don't remember. So is it traumatic even though we agree when to come to this life? Or is it because of the way we come through? I was born by cesarean and I don't deal well with unplanned things and sudden changes. Well, that's exactly what I was talking about. Yeah, you just weren't ready. And they were like, okay, you're coming out. Yeah, either of the births are traumatic. So every single birth for us is traumatic. I mean, every single birth, there are only a number of women even who, when they give birth, they can actually enjoy it. Most of women experiencing extreme big fear, extreme big stress, because subconsciously, they are remembering how it was to be born. And that's something that you cannot shift by counseling, something that cannot be shifted just by trying to dig into it and like remember, because we can't remember these things. It's like, it's way beyond our normal memory developed. So yes, but there is a good news. Rebirthing works on issues that are lay dormant in our subconscious and that ruin our life. And the reason I mean ruin is because we are not aware of these patterns, and they just keep running as the normal program will run. So like this automatic programming, like, you know, you've got automatic heart rate, you've got automatic breathing, you can tap into reprogramming your breathing, you can tap into reprogramming your heartbeat, you can tap in the way your digestion works. Yeah, the same way we can tap into the subconscious patterns that we're not even aware of and release them, heal them, let the energy be released. So when we are constricted, when we are tight, yeah, just like for those people who've been born through the birth canal, when they're constricted, they think they're going to die or something is going to happen to them. they don't know that they're going to come out on the other end, at the other end, and everything will be fine. So that sensation actually stays with us for the rest of our lives. Or again, or like Aga saying, like, you weren't ready, but they were like made decision for you. And that's where your connection with things, that if they unplanned and you're not aware, if the things change like that, you're like, okay, I'm out of it. I'm disconnecting with the environment. I'm closing myself in. I'm going into a shell. Yeah. So to help ourselves, to help you, and I absolutely love this work because I know this works because I've done it so many times and it worked for me. So of the example, so let me see, where did I write it? Because I didn't want to forget this. And it was just something really, really recent. Okay, let's talk about example, like what I was thinking about my daughter. Okay, we've got cats, and one of the cats is my daughter's. My daughter's now 12, and I asked her to help with the litter change. So basically, she has to change the litter box. It's not a very pleasant job, yeah? And a 12-year-old doesn't really want to do it. But I'm like, come on, I need help, and let's do this. So she does it the most ineffective way of doing it. So without cleaning the actual box, she just pours the litter out and fills with the other one. So the bottom of the litter box is always wet, and it kind of makes the new litter smell just as bad as the old one. So, for example, imagine that her consciousness works in such a way that she grows up and she would hate this job so much because her mum made her do this. And it will go to such an extent that she will not even want to have a cat. Or she will grow up with hating cats. Yeah, I'm hypothesizing because I can't find this example I was like writing down, but it'll come to me. But let's imagine this. So can you see how the way she perceived it when she was 12 is going to block how the development of connection with this particular animal will go. Yeah. So the same works with our birth, same works when we're children. That's where the children fears are. And the same way it works when, especially when we're 6, 7, and 11, 12, because at these stages, at the birth, 6, 7 years of age, and at 11, 12 years of age, major shifts happen in our subconscious and in our brain development. And that's why these levels are important. Our intelligence changes, our consciousness changes. So what your consciousness was when you were 5 is different to what your consciousness is when you're, say, 15, right? When you're 12, when you're 30, when you're 35. If you had a hang up about something, your mother, if your parents never bought things, even though you really, really, really wanted, say you were a 3 or 5 year old and you really, really wanted this little toy, and your parents, for whatever reason, maybe they just thought it was a stupid toy to buy. Maybe they couldn't afford to buy it. Maybe they just thought that you don't really need that Chinese rubbish, not being like disrespectful to Chinese. But it's like whatever your parents thought had never entered your mind because you were not of that consciousness at the time. And so what happens is that as a child, with the consciousness of a child, we perceive things and make connection between A and Z in such a simplistic way, which may not make sense, but it runs you. Say you think your mother or your father or your parents taught you something because you didn't deserve it, or because you misbehaved all the time, or because you didn't make yourself useful, or what's worse, if you didn't feel you were loved because they didn't buy you that toy. Can you imagine? That patterning now runs your life. Just even think about it. This is very deep. I know, and you might have to rewatch this, but this is really, really deep. And this is in every single one of us, but it just unfolds differently. And so this feeling of something that you like, okay, something I really wanted, but now what? I can't get it. So whatever you're going to want in your life, say, I don't know, let's talk about it. Let's talk about your wishes. Do you guys have wishes that you like, the most incredible wish of your life? Like traveling, maybe you want to earn a particular amount of money per month, maybe you want to find a partner, maybe you want to improve your health. So write your wish in here in the comments, and let's talk about, let's just go a little bit deeper, and I'll show you the connection between your wish and why you can't get it. And then I'll give you the option of actually working at it and making it work and making it happen. So I'll give you some time. Yes, and whilst you're writing that, I'll tell you this example about my son remembered. So when he was 4 months old, I was told by the doctors that he had to be weaned at 4 months old. So I was still breastfeeding, and but the doctor said 4 months old, you have to wean him. And I remember giving him all this baby food, which was so disgusting. I probably wouldn't have eaten it myself. But, you know, you buy it in the jars and it's just like not nice at all. But back in those days, 23 years ago, I did that. And I remember as a 4 months old, he would sit there, mouthful of this baby food, just like a hamster. He would just hold his cheeks full of food and not swallow. And I would be like, come on, you swallow. This is so nice, da, 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 da. Now, when I had my second child, 11 years later, the doctors told me, oh, wean your child at 6 months old. And I'm thinking, like, 6 months old? It used to be 4 months old. Why has it changed? Yeah, exactly. Why has it changed? Like, who makes these rules? Now I know, and with my second and third child, I'm like, I make the rules. And so, but what happened to my son is now he has a thing about the texture in his mouth. So now, as a 23-year-old, he cannot eat things that are like a pureed, just like this stupid baby food. And that is the connection. He just wasn't ready as a 4 months old to take in that substance that I was giving him, which is supposed to be like feeding him baby food, but it was just disgusting. And I totally agree with him. But now he needs to work to work it through. Okay, so we've got one. Want to find a partner. Okay, that's good. That's very, very specific one. So we have anything else? Maybe earning. I know somebody was mentioning about that. So, okay. So these are your wishes. Now, so with that, yeah, okay. So we go back to this example with the toy that you wanted a toy. and your parents wouldn't buy it, and you thought all these things about yourself, like I wasn't worth it, I didn't make use of myself, I'm just not worthy of love, they don't love me, that's why they don't buy anything for me, right? Then the same dynamic will play out again and again. You went to a different shop, it was a week later, it was a month later, you were a teenager and you needed something and your parents said, no, you don't need it, we know better. And so this sets a dynamic that because it repeated so many times, just because your parents were this way and you were that way, it's only because of that. Nobody's in the wrong. It's just how it plays out. Because it repeated over time, so many times, it established itself in your subconscious. And as it established itself in your subconscious, the person is now thinks, okay, there's no worth me even thinking or wishing for something because I know A, B, C, D, Z, whatever. Yeah. And it's not going to happen because I don't deserve it. I'm not worthy of it. People don't love me. I'm not loved, and so forth, and etc. And as it becomes so established, the fear of receiving that what you really, really want, even greater than the fear of not receiving it. Yeah? Just breathe. This is very deep. So if your wish is to find a partner, you might already sabotage yourself even before you went out looking for one. Because even before you go and look for one, you'd be already thinking, okay, I'm going to play out this dynamic and we're going to love each other for a little while, and then something will go wrong and they'll accuse me and I'll be in the wrong because I'm not worthy, because I'm not loved, and because whatever. Yeah? So you would sabotage yourself even before you set your foot out the door to try and find one. So the fear of receiving what you want so much is so much greater than the fear of not receiving it. How does that resonate with you? Let me know. It might be really difficult to acknowledge. Might be really, really difficult to acknowledge. But this is just an example of how these things play out. So what we're going to do, and as this all continues, sabotage ourselves from that dynamic, falling back into that dynamic, we become frustrated from never getting what we ask for, from never getting what we want. And that frustration sets us right back into that neurotic cycle of neurosis. So, very difficult subject, but the good thing is we're going to do a little practice now, and it is a healing place. So everybody who is here and who's interacting is going to receive some insights, going to receive the healing, because you're in my field now. And we will do the practice and you will feel better. Okay? And I will tell you more about rebirthing, and I will tell you our benefits and some gifts of what we plan for the next couple of months and for next month. Okay? So I invite you to place your hands on your heart center. So the right hand on top Eyes are closed, looking in the center of the chin. Open your mouth, relax your jaw. So open your mouth quite wide. And begin to breathe through the open mouth. Now just set the timer. So put a plus in the comments if you are doing this with me, with us. Eyes are looking at the tip of your chin through the closed eyes. Both of your hands on the heart center, right hand on top. And you're breathing through the open mouth. In and out through the open mouth. Keep breathing. I'm keeping an eye on the clock. If you're yawning, that's totally normal. Just keep breathing through the open mouth. So keep breathing. Keep focusing on the tip of your chin. And just go to the root of that problem that keeps you from not giving yourself the wish that you wish the most. So just trust it. Don't overthink it. Just go in your mind's eye to the root where all this line stems towards and kind of comes from, whatever wish you have, you going to the root of the problem of why it stops you or prevents you from getting what you want. Okay, so keep breathing. And just stay there, even if it might be uncomfortable, it might be nice, just stay there, observe, and just contemplate. You know that, but just give you a moment of how don't be attached to it. Neutral it, but just let it feel it now. Body, where in your body is, and just give yourself that breathing breath. Wonderful. Breath off, like that. And sit as that to get from just state. You don't write out any of that. I liberate. Just do and these shake. You exhale. Again. Take breath out. Inhale. Stretch. And exhale. Stay with you. And just feel yourself. Light. Feel like that. It will you anything. This is powerful. Yeah. Just waiting for you to write. Okay, so this was just 3 minutes, 5 minutes. quite a deep work. This is what I do. But imagine releasing yourself from these debilitating patterns that are, that's holding you from living your life to the full, living your life to the best. You know, it's liberating. Oh, this sound was choppy at the end. Okay, how do you feel? Yes, I don't know why Telegram does that. It's as if somebody's trying to call me, but nobody was calling me. It does that strange sound. Did you manage to release anything? Did you feel like you could detach yourself from that memory that was in your subconscious? Okay, yeah, a bit. Yeah. So this was 5 minutes of this work. And like I said, rebirthing works in exactly the same way. You go into your subconscious with the guide, with the teacher, with the light torch, and you shine the light at those corners of your mind, of subconscious mind, that you don't even know exist. And you don't need to know why things are there and who put them there, or like do any analysis. It's really not needed. But what you can do, you can just go in, release, liberate, and be free of that. So the rebirthing session that those people who already purchased, that rebirthing session is 2 hours long, but it includes the little warm-up, it includes a lecture, again, explaining things, and it includes the practice. So, and the rebirthing session that you're able to purchase, it's working on your traumatic womb experience or the trauma that had set in whilst you were in the womb of your mother. And we are planning to run 2 more sessions later on because, we're waiting for people to gather in our closed group, so we can get everybody to a certain level. And then we will work with prosperity, because prosperity and relationships and health are very, very closely linked to these patterns that are running our subconscious. So we're going to do more on prosperity the following month, but we need to be on a certain level to do that. There's no point running prosperity and giving you like all the homework and whatever and tools if you haven't prepared the ground. Yeah, it's like putting the seeds into a very cold ground that they're not going to grow. So we need to fertilize the soil, prepare it, make it so that it can receive the seed. So the following month will be on prosperity and working with the childhood fears of 6 and 7 years of age. And the following month after that, it will be working with the fears of 11 and 12-year-old selves. And that's the fears of our puberty, our sexual interactions, the way we relate to others, the way we relate to ourselves. So there's, quite a bit of work to do if you want to jump on this journey with us. And yes, so, the exclusive offer that is running at the moment for those people who want to purchase Rebirthing Kriya is £50, and you get the interaction with the closed group for 30 days of like-minded people. You get the highly effective practice to reprogram your subconscious. You get gentle warm-ups in there for all levels. You get a lecture explaining how it works, how the process works. You also get 30 minutes of private consultation with my friend Kitty, who is a psychologist with so many years of experience. And she has done this work as well. So she knows how this all works, and she is incredible. And you'll also get a 30-day practice to practice every single day once you've done the rebirthing set. So you can completely cement those changes in. So you can, you've done the change, you've cleaned your slate, and then you want to keep that slate clean for a prolonged period of time. So then before you set a new habit, you know what habit you can set in. So what kind of habit to rewrite you can choose. So this is like, it's just mind-blowing. Actually, it's like technology. It's not technology, it's a science. It's a sacred science, actually. But I'm just getting so excited about it, because in this day and age, in Aquarian age, we can rewrite our own blueprint. Isn't that incredible? Yeah. All this ascending and just becoming somebody you want. You can choose, and you don't need to wait for the next lifetime to do this. Isn't that incredible? Yeah. If it's incredible, give me some fire or hearts. This is just incredible. I just can't get over it. It blows my mind, but it's such an amazing work. Such an amazing work. So so for those people who want to jump on with us for the whole 3 journeys, for the whole 3 rebirthings that we will do this month, next month, and the month after that, there is a special deal, and you can purchase the 3 rebirthing practices for only £125. So remember, I said that one rebirthing practice is £50, and you get 3 of them for £125 instead of £150. So it's a £25 off. And as a bonus, for those first 11 people who will buy 3 rebirthing practices, I will throw in a bonus of Satnam Rasayan healing. And Satnam Rasayan healing it's phenomenal. Actually, healing, it's healing from the deep meditative state. So you know how if you've been listening and practicing today with me for 3-5 minutes, and even when I'm talking, you are experiencing benefits of healing. So imagine just having a one-on-one session when you lie down and I tune into you. It doesn't have to be in person. It can be at a distance. I tune into you, and I tune into the deep silence within myself and how my body silence reacts to the energy that comes from you. And I sense what happens in my body, and I cleanse the areas of tension and areas of, say, discomfort. And that helps the person who's being healed just to, just heal. It's a profoundly healing session. And I've done one recently to one of my friends. So what she said, what happened? She actually fell asleep. We've set up a time like 10 p.m. and I was calling her and she probably just fell asleep by then. So I've texted her to say, okay, I'm going to start anyway because I'm ready. So basically she was unconscious. She was in deep sleep when I was doing it. And after that, I finished. I've done all my bit. And I've texted her to say, okay, I'm finished. Hope everything's well. Good night, and like, see you whenever. And then she texted me like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, which I didn't see at the time, but I saw in the morning. And she said, "Oh my God, what happened? What happened? I'm a different person." She said she never slept this long in her entire life. She normally, like she said, she sleeps about 3-4 hours a day. And that night she fell asleep before 10 and she slept till 4 or 5 in the morning. So that was already 6-7 hours. And she slept like a baby. And she said her problem in her knee has just completely gone. She had a bad knee, which I didn't even know about, and as a healer, I don't need to know. So she was like, "Oh my God, this is incredible. I wasn't even aware you were doing it." So, it's an incredible gift. And as I give it to you as a bonus, if for those first 11 people who will purchase 3 rebirthing practices. And of course, when you purchase these 3 rebirthing practices, the first rebirthing will give you the 30-minute consultation with Kitty, the psychologist, but all other rebirthing sessions will... Sorry, I was the last time rebirth session with you. Yes, you've got rebirthing session, that's right. Sorry, didn't understand the question. Can you rephrase it, please? And all for those who will purchase the 3 rebirthing sessions together, you will get the practice, the warm-up, the lecture. You will get the membership for a closed group for 3 months. And for after each rebirthing session, we'll have 30-day practice plan to sustain and deepen the effects of your work. So let me know any questions. Okay. No questions. Okay. I hope that makes sense. Yes. If you've already purchased 1 rebirthing sessions and you want to jump for the other 2 with us, jump in. Yes, we can totally do that. I'll have to think about it. Okay. I'll have to think what I can give. So let me come back to you on that, okay, Laszlo? I'll just have to do the maths. I can't do it on the fly like that. I have to make sure. Okay, all right. And there'll be some bonuses and gifts, I'm sure. Because the reason I'm doing it is because it gives me so much joy and fulfillment, because to change, to help another person, my friend or my subscriber or the follower, or person from our community, to change their lives, that is incredible. It's magical, isn't it? Oh, excellent. I'm so glad that it worked for you. So this is the work of my heart, and I'll be putting it out there, and I hope everybody who listened to this and participated enjoyed themselves and can feel the heartfelt energy of this work. And just have to be together and communicate with each other's more, and comment, be pleasant, and create more positivity in the world. So I think that's important, because there's plenty of negativity. We don't need any more of that. But yeah, to create more positivity, we need to clean out the negativity. So that's what, yes, exactly. It's very important. So that's what makes it all worthwhile. Okay, so I think I've been talking for an hour now, and yeah, I mean, if there's any more questions, let me know. If you want to know more about rebirthing, if you want, no, okay, it's clear as rain. So perfect. I am so happy that you were here tonight. I was able to communicate with you so much deeper and to get to know you so much more. And yeah, so thank you so much for making this time. And I wish you a good night. And if you've got the Kriyas, Rebirthing Kriya, go and do it. Lots of love, and I'll see you soon. Try. It's not a hard one. It really isn't. I promise you. You will enjoy it. And for those who can't sit on the floor, you can sit in a chair and do that. It won't matter. As long as you can keep your spine straight, that's all you need to do. So, yeah. And don't worry, there's no painful, no painfulness in it. You know, it's quite pleasant. Okay. And I'll hold your hand until we meet next time. Lots of love, and have a is another level. Absolutely. Have a wonderful evening, and I'll speak to you soon.